Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything going on in the world of sports. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go.
Instead of looking deep inside, every word I have to say, keep it simple.
Welcome to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. What is happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this week. My name is Ken M. Joining me in studio, as always, you know him. He's the co-host. He's a man of 1,004 aliases. I stopped keeping track. It's probably up even higher by now. His name is Padawan J.
Let me talk to you.
And we have a lot to talk about in the land of sports. But fear not, if you're looking for the entertainment stuff, we have a few comic interviews coming to the ODPH this week via Fanlight Zone. So you want to make sure you're subbed up on the YouTube channels. You want to make sure you're subbed up on the podcast network, because you don't want to miss what's coming there. And we also got some reviews coming too, because I know that Wonder Man has came on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Just finished it before I came on the show, so
Haven't even started
the
it.
thoughts have. I'll say non-spoiler. I think the critics have got this one right. It's been very, very good.
Okay.
But I will do the deep dive on a later time period. But if you want to find out about all that and what's going on, Pat, where does everybody go?
ODPHpodcast.com.
Right on. Swing on over to their website. Check out the TeePublic store. Check out the blogs, which will redirect you to Fanlight Zone for the comic blogs. We want to say that because obviously the entire team is dropping 40 a week, it seems like,
baby.
if not close to.
We'll say we're like Kobe in his prime.
Exactly. So if you want the latest and greatest going on in comics, you want to make sure you swing over to fanlightzone.com, your home for comics pop culture. But the sports stuff is still there. The wrestling stuff, we're going back and forth with a little bit. But the website's not going anywhere, so we want to make sure if you want the blogs, that's where it goes. But I know I was hit up about the comic stuff, and it's like, well, we don't want to make people go to two sites.
Right.
So just keep it all under one roof with Rich and Joey. Shout out to the entire team at FLZ. So that's where you go for that on New Comic Book Day. But for everything else, it's the ODPH. You find it at the website along with the classified section. So shout out to 3FN Podcast, Dragon Master Games, and the directory, because, Pat, how many providers are we on?
We are on 501,938.
And your source?
Trust me, bro.
So wherever you listen to the ODPH on, first and foremost, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world to us. We have links to every single podcatcher we can find. So we say we don't have all the ones Pat named off, but for the ones that are key to you, we have right on the website. It's all the embedded players, so you can listen to the show wherever you're at in the world. And then last but certainly not least, we have a fantastic music section with such musicians as Brian Wolf and the Howlers, Second Suitor, Tom Jolu, still working on getting that new single. Well, actually, it's the EP there, so there's a little more going on to it. But we definitely shout out to Tom and everybody on his band. We will be having that sooner than later here on the ODPH. Also, maybe some other music too. Stay tuned. With Floodlands, shout out the Robots, and some surprises to stay tuned for. But that all said, if it's anything and everything that is the ODPH, you can find it at odphpodcast.com. And if you're still using hashtags on social media, why not use the hashtag ODPHpod? Helps the algorithm. That's what I'm told. So kicking off this edition of the show, kind of leaning a lot more into the sports aspect of things, this past weekend was the kickoff to the Road to WrestleMania. Is the annual tradition where two superstars punched their ticket arguably to the main event of the shows on night one and night two. So let's recap what went down on the Road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, so of course the first match we're going to talk about for the Royal Rumble, which took place this past Saturday. I got to say, I didn't hate the start time.
Yeah.
The start time was wonderful for us here in the States. I realized overseas might have been a little rough because of how late it went, but yeesh. But no, the first match that took place was the Women's Royal Rumble match, which had some notable entrants into it. From NXT, you had Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, both who made fantastic performances for themselves. Then you also had JC Jane and Kalani Jordan make some appearances. And also, was not on my bingo card for this year. Surprised it happened. And that was Brie Bella returning to WWE after a notable length of time away from the company.
Yeah, seeing Brie come back was really shocking on a few different levels.
Yeah.
First and foremost, obviously everybody knows that she is married to one Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan from his WWE days. Danielson is very synonymous with AEW this time around.
Especially these days.
Yeah, so seeing her come back back. It was rumored that was kind of a holdup about her coming to WWE on a return tour, but allegedly, we'll say the allegedlys, obviously. So seeing her come back, it kind of raised some eyebrows on the internet. And honestly, I don't know where this goes or what this exactly means.
Yeah,
I think it's a nice surprise. We do know on Monday Night Raw that she reunited with her sister Nikki to cut a promo.
Yep.
And announced that they're going to go for the tag team titles,
which makes sense.
Yeah, complete sense because they didn't have the belts when they were first on their team up tour,
right?
So now that the belts are there, that's a good legacy piece. I don't struggle with that.
Probably Mania.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening depending on who the champions are at the time.
Yeah.
So that should be an interesting storyline to base it on.
Yeah.
So, but Brie coming back was a huge storyline moment.
Yeah.
They didn't really have anyone that really was a left field. Didn't expect on the to see up.
Which, I mean, given the fact it's overseas, it's over in Saudi Arabia, the legal and not the legal, the logistical, of getting people over there and clearance and everything else. I can understand why they didn't necessarily lean that heavily into it.
No, they definitely didn't go crazy with it. I will say this, I thought the NXT superstars that were there stole the show.
Yes, absolutely.
I think JC Jane, if you're not buying into her being a legit main eventer, I think she proved a lot of people wrong. Sol Ruka, who, if the stats I'm reading are correct, the only person in the Women's Royal Rumble that lasted longer than she did was Charlotte Flair. Yeah. So it is kind of wild to see how it all shaped up there. But at the end of the day, we did have a little, deja vu, if you will.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, except for this year, because Liv Morgan was your winner. And finally, after being in the top two, for the final two, I should say, the last couple of years, final three, couple times, finally was the last one standing.
Morgan makes the most sense in this situation. She doesn't really have a major storyline right now.
No.
She's an instant main eventer. Her and Vakir will put a lot of people in the seats.
It makes more sense than Jade Cargill over on SmackDown.
Well, I think that Jade, it's tough to do a feud that you don't have an interaction with.
It's tough to do a feud when she's not defending the belt, but hey,
Well, that's on the SmackDown booking, my opinion. Yeah, no, I agree.
Listen, I can't take credit for this. I saw it the other day, but she's been champion for, I forget how many days, and 0 defenses.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. So, I mean, obviously from what we know, that they just haven't written her on the show, which is a little puzzling.
Now, I will say, if there is some sort of injury we are not aware of, I rescind any and all comments.
Absolutely. But for where we are right now, there hasn't been any interaction between Morgan going to SmackDown to face Jade. I still think, even though Liv has not officially declared,
she hinted.
It's hinted enough that it'll be Stephanie Vakir. I could see Vakir coming to SmackDown and jumping her.
Probably.
While she's scouting Jade. So I think they'll solidify that. And then the Elimination Chamber is who Jade will face.
Yep.
I have a very good suspicion, just my instincts. I think if Bianca Belair is healthy, she's in the Elimination Chamber, and then that's the match they really want to do.
Could be.
And I'm 1,000,000% on board with that.
Could be. Next up was a career-threatening match with the ring general, Gunther, the career ender, as I believe they're calling him these days, taking on AJ Styles, and winning via technical submission in 24 minutes and 15 seconds, Gunther. So as a result, AJ Styles has been forced to retire from in-ring competition. ... Or has he?
Well, that's the internet buzz right now.
Mm-hmm. And will be until the end of time.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely see him gone for at least a year. I think the fact that he went so early about doing a career match and didn't get the win to extend it, I think it's just my opinion is I think his body has just had enough and needs a long reset.
Right, well, which I totally believe because he's 48 years old. He turns 49 here the 2nd of June. And according to his Wikipedia page, when it comes to his professional wrestling career, he was trained and debuted in 1998. So do the math, folks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tread and that's a lot of mileage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, completely.
So if he wants to go, you know what? I just can't do it anymore. My body ain't what it used to be. I want to take some time and I want to heal up and I just want to relax and enjoy my life. Hey, he's earned it.
Oh, I think it's the right move. I think that he goes out putting over Gunther, which is the right. Yeah. It's the business, so it's the right call.
He's made Gunther the biggest heel in the company, if not all of professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, Gunther's on a tear right now. He's just got to capitalize on it. I think he needs a little stronger promo work.
Gunther coming out to AJ Styles theme on Monday Night Raw in Philadelphia. Oh my God, genius!
Oh, it's genius. No, and the promo, like I say, he's getting better with it.
Yeah.
Because he's never been a super promo guy.
No,
he's old school as it gets. But what he's doing is is working in obviously the spot with him and Dragon Lee this past week.
Incredible sell job.
Uh-huh.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Accidental renaissance.
Yeah, which, I mean, is a great homage to Brody Lee and Darby Allin when they had their feud, too.
Yeah.
So, but it works. So, like,
Yeah.
the spot works. It's wrestling,
Yeah.
folks. So, to see that go, it's going to be interesting. And then, obviously, with what AJ does next.
Yeah.
Could he go to AEW? I'm sure if he is released from his contract from WWE and Tony Khan gives him a crazy amount of money, he will entertain it. I just don't think he does. I think it's a physical thing. He doesn't want to do it anymore, or he knows like he can't go to that level anymore. And when you're such a high level performer, to kind of let Father Time get to you, it gets to everybody.
Sure.
It makes sense, and especially with the style he wrestles, I could understand him saying, "Listen, my body just can't take it anymore."
Yeah, and you can definitely tell if you go back and watch some of his earlier matches when he first got into WWE, and then you look at some of the ones in the last few years, you can definitely tell that the pep and the step ain't what it used to be.
Right. So it's better to go out on top than stay around too long.
This is true.
So I think it's the right move. I don't think we'll see him in other than a Hall of Fame acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them doing something with him in TNA, like honoring him, putting him in their Hall of Fame or whatever it is. I can see him showing up for Wrestle Kingdom and getting a send-off from the folks over in New Japan for everything he did over there. But I think in terms of the in-ring stuff, no, I think he's done.
Yeah, and it makes the most sense, but what a career.
Yeah. Next up was a singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship with Drew McIntyre defending his belt against Sami Zayn and emerging victorious, winning via pinfall in 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Drew McIntyre.
See, this is a moment that I thought if you're ever going to get the belt on Sammy, for whatever reason, like if you really want to put him to the top of the card, whatever, this was the moment to do it. And I thought he had the momentum.
Sure.
We know a couple years ago during the height of the Bloodline storyline, he was right there with Roman. People thought he should have been the one to defeat him in Montreal.
Yeah, there was some speculation.
So he's in that weird Mick Foley space where you could make him world champ. It's the ultimate underdog story. People will lose their minds.
Uh-huh.
And it's not to say he's got to have a title, like a crazy title run.
Right.
I just don't think, like, for right now, they would have, had the belt on him that long.
No.
I think he's more than worthy of it, though. I think that they should give him the title at some point. And I think if he had done it in the show here, I think you would have had a monumental crowd reaction like you've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
But for whatever reason, they want to keep it on Drew, which unless they do something where Sammy runs it back in the Elimination Chamber or something and kind of builds it like he was so close but couldn't seal the deal, whatever the case is, then it makes sense. But I just don't think they want to play hot potato with the belt.
No.
I think Drew winning has been the right call, getting the belt off Cody.
Yeah.
But now you're left with the problem of where you go next.
Right.
Because due to what we know from Monday Night Raw, which we'll get into a little later, we know that the winner of the Rumble is not facing Drew.
Right.
Drew is going to get whoever's in the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
That could be very interesting depending on who is in there. Because if it's 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown,
Presumably it will be.
Then
Or it could go 2-2-2.
Well, if they want to promote NXT and do it, sure. I don't think they would, though.
No, probably not. It'd be fun, though.
Oh, it'd be fun. No, I mean,
Get some Ricky Saints action in there.
they got some ways they could pull this off. Because the only thing I'm fearing, and I don't want to see this just because he's been in the main event the past 2 years,
Right.
is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my first thought went.
Which
I don't know if I necessarily want that, but when I look at the rest of the field and who the other contenders would be, I can't think of who else would go up against him.
Yeah, I mean, unless you really want to put the rocket on Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Which you could, but then
There is a budding feud there.
Yeah, but
it's not full blown.
But that's the thing. For Mania, you need the big storyline. Like, you need something. See, if I was WWE at this stage, what I would do is I would have L.A. Knight win. You have the Yes movement.
Or the Yeah movement.
Or the Yeah movement. I mean, same thing.
Yeah.
And then you have him get the crowd behind him. He finally gets the moment in the sun he's always wanted. Because remember, the last time they did that was when was a Riyadh show.
Yes.
So he hasn't got a world title since.
Right.
If you're ever going to cash in on the Yes movement, that's the time, or the Yeah movement, that's the time to do it. So that would be the only logical step I think you could do.
Does have that new shirt, Unchosen.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think he should run with. I mean, he wasn't chosen for the Royal Rumble, or I mean, didn't win the Royal Rumble, and and he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to do it, like this is time to do it for him too.
It makes more sense to me than running it back with Cody for I don't know how many times.
Yeah, even if you have a 3-way between Cody and Jacob there,
that one crossed my mind, which I'm like,
you could do
that. That works for some other pay-per-view during the year. I don't necessarily want to see that for Mania.
No, I think the match that needs to happen is Cody versus Randy Orton.
Okay.
That's the match I think they need.
I'm all right with that.
Well, that's the thing. It's a main event in itself.
Yeah.
It's not going to headline the show.
Could open the show.
But I'll tell you what, it should open.
Yeah.
And there you go. It writes itself.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that plays out. Like I say, Sammy's the ultimate underdog. He's, like I say, he's in that Mick Foley role, so you can always kind of plug and play him where you need to.
Uh-huh.
I am just kind of curious where he goes from here, and that's why I say if you want to do the storyline to heighten up the chamber,
sure,
that's one. You put LA Knight in there, you put Cody, you put Jacob, and then you can fill out the other 2 spots however you want to do.
Yeah,
there you go.
True. Next up and lastly was the men's Royal Rumble match, which had the 30 participants entering this one. A little bit of intrigue with this one. There was some speculation that the WWE leaked the order on Friday night where Braun Breaker graphic was shown with him number 1, and then they came out Saturday and come to find out he drew number 2. So then the question became who drew number 1, and I'll admit I was curious. I'm like, I wonder who it's going to be. And the music hit, and I went, oh shit, he ain't lasting long.
Yeah.
The Ruler, as he's known, came to appear because, well, he ain't in NXT anymore. He's unaffiliated, and that was Oba Femi showed up number 1. Started wrecking house. Couple of notable appearances in this one. First of which came up with second of which I should say came up after Obafemi showed up was from AAA, the hottest internet sensation in professional wrestling. You cannot tell me otherwise. La Yesca and Mr. Iguana showed up, which got to say the moment they had with Damian Priest, just fantastic. Also had this one. Did not see coming. I talked about it with Common Man Vince Ciatoli, I think either the day before or 2 days before the Royal Rumble.
Shout out Vinny.
He asked if this person would show up at the Rumble. I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're going to kind of save him for NXT, do something down there. Well, I was wrong because they even showed his name on the big old video board on the entryway before they changed the name. Powerhouse Hobbs, or as he's now known, Royce Keys showed up on the main roster. A couple other ones real quick. La Parka from AAA showed up, and then also Brock Lesnar, but we knew he was coming. He announced on Pat McAfee show he was appearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Powerhouse Hobbs Royce Keys move, that was the biggest surprise of this match because we didn't know. We knew he was signed. I loved the intro. I loved how they explained it. Obviously, Royce, I believe, is the name of his son, and then his mother's maiden name is Keys.
I think it's the other way around. I think Royce is his mother's maiden name, and Keys is the name of his son. But it's a really not for as much as people were shitting on the name because the name got trademarked a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was like, "Oh God, that's going to be his name. That's awful." It makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So to see him show up, that was a huge move, and then we kind of didn't really go over the Braun Breaker move.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we have another masked man who attacked him before he got into the ring, and that's what helped Oba to eliminate him so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of speculation going on about who.
Mm-hmm.
Some have said Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Some have said Austin Theory. Some have said Logan Paul. Some have said LA Knight.
Nah.
I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. I think
got a hunch.
Seth Rollins?
Nope.
Who?
I'm gonna say it's Adam Pearce.
I mean,
Adam Pearce, who has been put through so much nonsense and BS with the Vision. The man is weekly popping a blood vessel in his temple if you watch him with all the nonsense the Vision's been putting him through. So he turns around, lifts the suspension, puts the entire group in the Royal Rumble and goes, you want to show me up on my show? I'll show you.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't
Seth is, I feel, the easy answer just because I know he was asked, are you going to be watching the Royal Rumble when it takes place Saturday? And he told, well, I would, but he goes, with my wife being overseas for the show, that puts me on daddy duty, and my daughter's got a gymnastics class at the time the show is supposed to start. Well, so he does have that going, so could it be him? I don't know, but I like the Adam Pearce theory.
Well, the Pearce theory works. It definitely does. I mean, Rollins, here's the thing. Anybody's under the mask, so it doesn't matter. You could lie, you could lie to the audience and say it was him. But I think the thing with him is the injury angle. They've already played the card of he can fake that injury and then show up.
Yep.
You already did that once. I don't think you're going to do it twice.
Not this close.
So it will be interesting to see how they play this out. I think Logan Paul would be a fun twist on this story.
That would be. He did introduce the idea for all of the Vision to kind of unite behind Braun Breaker and help him win the Royal Rumble. And for it to only go up in 10 seconds, that plan backfired.
Yeah.
So for him to be the kind of, Brutus to Braun Breaker's Julius Caesar would be a hell of a move.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, can we note, Paul Heyman came out with Braun Breaker. All the shenanigans happened. And then you later in the same card had the rest of the Vision members come out. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul. You notice who was noticeably absent from those members or even being down there to support them? Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
You know who he came out with? Boy, again, what year is it? He came out with Brock Lesnar.
Well,
just saying, time's a flat circle.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way he was not walking out with Brock.
Which, WrestleMania, give it to me. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar.
Unless they do him and Gunther.
Ooh, triple threat.
That's the
triple threat.
Well, I don't think they'll do a triple, but I think that
listen, I need to have nice things.
It just depends on what they want to do with Gunther. But I think for Lesnar, I'd love to see him in Oba.
Shout out to the Miz, who at one point I think it was only Oba and Brock were in the ring together. Miz came out at number 23, was about halfway into sliding into the ring, saw who was waiting for him, and went, you know what? I'll wait.
Yeah. But when it got down to the final four, is Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Gunther, who's doing double duty, and Roman Reigns wound up being victorious.
Winning for the second time in his career, and the first one in, I believe, 11 years.
Yeah.
Because the only other one he won was in 2015.
Yep, which led to one of the best segments on Monday Night Raw in recent memories.
Smokes. Early promo of the year, Canada.
Yeah, I was going to say Roman came out to address the crowd, interrupted by CM Punk, who immediately ignored him and started yelling in the camera about Finn Balor.
Yeah, which, holy cow. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Which, it was bold, but it planted the seed perfectly.
Yeah.
And then both of those two displayed a class about how to do promos because they went at each other. There was a lot of personal venom in there. I did not think a certain podcast was going to get referenced, but here we are.
Well, given those two, I had a feeling it might pop up in some fashion.
I was surprised they went back to that well, but nevertheless. And then Roman and Punk went back and forth until it came down to paraphrasing, I'm not choosing you because you're the best. I'm not choosing you because it's the marquee show. I'm choosing you because I flat out hate you.
They brought Zootopia, too, into this damn thing.
No, they went everywhere.
Because Roman and Punk voiced two characters in the Zootopia movie that I guess are cops or whatever. And Roman goes, what do we say, zebras or some nonsense? I'm like, yo, we're bringing Zootopia? Leave Zootopia out of it.
Well, they went all over the place with it, like I say. And this
was great.
But this is what they needed to do. For everybody that's talking about creative bankruptcy, they needed something that was going to get the fans talking.
Punk was right in this promo. Roman could have chosen Drew. But that's the easy way. Roman beat the you-know-what out of Drew for what, like a year and a half?
Well, that's the thing. It's already
We've seen it before.
There's no excitement there.
No.
Him and Punk, there's instant history. And anytime you can capitalize on it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So in this situation, I don't argue with it. I think they're going to put on a hell of a promo for it. Or
baby.
Like the lead into it. I think it'll be great. And then you go from there to see about, who else is going to get booked on WrestleMania. Because like I say, you now have your Night 2 main event, no question of this.
Oh, God, yeah, no, there ain't nothing else ending that show.
That's locked and loaded.
Yep.
So,
which, hey, good for Punk. He's finally got his one-on-one main event at WrestleMania.
Well, that's the thing. And it's the right call to do it.
Yeah,
stage.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you take a look at that roster, no other main event makes sense right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And if anybody's saying, well, it should have been like Braun Breaker, I don't think Braun would. As great of a star as he's going to be, he's not there yet.
It would have been good, but in hindsight, I don't know. I know I picked him on the show last week. In hindsight, though, with my pick, it would have been too soon.
Yeah, definitely would have been. But like we say, there's a lot of storylines coming out of the Royal Rumble this week, and obviously trickled down into Monday Night Raw. We're waiting to see how SmackDown does. NXT had a solid show.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, to Joe Hendry.
Hendry.
So that was a fun time. So Hit us up on that hashtag ODPH Pod. What was your thoughts about the Royal Rumble? And now the road to WrestleMania is officially kicked off. Where do you want to see everybody go? And if you even want more pro wrestling talk, 607 TWS is your hookup every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fanlight Zone YouTube. So make sure to stop by, say hi to Rich and Sammy, and talk that pro wrestling talk. In the meantime, we're going to get a breakout. We'll be right back.
You ever wondered what comics Mark from Vale is into? What Zach from Left Behind's favorite MCU movies are? Well, Metalcore Nerds is the show for you. My name is Sean Mott, and here at Metalcore Nerds, we cover the latest things in pop culture, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, DC, AEW, and everything else in between. You can listen to the show every Monday on Adobe Howl at 7 p.m. Eastern, or find it anywhere you find podcasts after it debuts on the radio station.
Coming back for another segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast, and time to recap a UFC event that may have flown under the radar this weekend.
A little bit.
But definitely had a couple storylines worth diving into. So, Pad, what are we talking about?
We are talking about UFC 325, which took place this past Saturday from the Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney, Australia. 18,000 plus fans in attendance. Flew under my radar because normally when UFC does their numbered pay-per-views, it's a little bit of time before the next one. Might do a couple fight nights. Might do a couple of other events going on in between, the Contender Series or something, which not usually the next week. But holy cow, I looked at the calendar and went, oh my God, there's UFC this weekend.
Yeah. So, nevertheless, we got to recap the card that was, so let's get into it.
Yeah, so we're going to start with the main card, and the first match on the main card was in the lightweight division, where Quillian Salkid defeated Jamie Malarkey with a rear neck crank submission at 3 minutes and 2 seconds of the first round.
Solid submission.
Oh, can't go wrong with a good neck crank.
Yeah, it was a good time to set up, get the crowd into it, because obviously you want that first bout when it's the main card to really kick things off, and first round sub, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, no. Next up was a heavyweight matchup with Tyson Teixeira defeating Tai Tuivasa via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28.
Tuivasa's in that Derek Lewis phase.
Yeah.
Like, he has that power to knock you out. You like him because he's charismatic. But I think that window of him making a real serious run, not there any.
Ironically, you bring up Derek Lewis because, Teixeira jumped up 4 rankings via UFC.com/rankings. He is now the 11th ranked fighter in the heavyweight division. Ahead of him at number 10 is Ante Delija. Number 9, Derek Lewis.
Interesting.
So, depending on what happens, they might schedule Teixeira against Delija. They might give him Derek Lewis. Hell, Tybor is just ahead of him at number 8. You never know. So there's a couple interesting matchups they could do, but a very impressive showing for Teixeira.
Yeah.
Next up was in the back to the lightweight division, where Mauricio Ruffy defeated Rafael Fiziev via TKO at 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the second round.
Great fight.
Holy smokes.
Lightweights brought it.
Holy smokes.
So, I mean, what can you say about that when you make a statement like that?
Yeah, no, it was a very good matchup.
Yeah.
And it also helped out and worked out really well for Ruffy. Jumped up 5 positions in the lightweight division rankings. He's now number 9. Dan Hooker right ahead of him at number 8. He dropped 2 spaces. Got Matsuts Gamrot at number 7. Patty Pimblett at number 6. Couple interesting matchups. The lightweight division getting real sexy these days.
Well, the thing about it has always been the deepest division in all of MMA.
Yeah.
So wins and losses obviously matter, but especially in that division, that's we're talking about career-defining moments and where you fall off. So.
Yeah. Then you get to the co-main event of the evening, which was again in the lightweight division, and you had Benoit Saint Denis defeat Dan Hooker via TKO punches at 4 minutes and 45 seconds of the second round.
Huge win for...
Oh, baby.
Yeah, huge win for Saint Denis.
Saint Denis jumped up 3 places in the rankings. He's now number 5. Ahead of him is Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Arman Sarukin, Justin Gaethje, who is the interim champion, and then Ilia Topuria, who is the champion.
See, this is where things get kind of awkward. Because trying to figure out who goes where next.
Well, we know Gaethje's got to face Topuria.
Yeah, so whatever is going to happen involving the championship bout, Gaethje's off the board.
Yep.
But then you have to take a look at, there is the fight coming up with Oliveira and Holloway.
Right.
What happens to the winner? What happens to the loser?
Right.
Then, obviously, you got Arman kind of in the wings.
I mean, you could almost do, since Oliveira and Holloway are facing each other, you can almost do Denis versus Arman.
See, that's the fight I think I would lean towards.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can have, Ruffy jump up that much. I think
No.
I think that you kind of have to play it smart here, and I think that Armand fight makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It just depends on what they want to do. I mean,
Well, and it also depends on some of these fights that we're hypothetically speaking about what happens with medical coming out of the fights, because it's all well and do if like, oh yeah, they can fight in like 6 weeks.
Right.
But if
Right.
it's like, hey, an extended medical absence, then we're kind of up, creek without a paddle.
Right. So, I mean, that being said, I think it's really going to come down to whatever happens to Oliveira and Holloway at this stage. Because
Yeah.
Topuria, I don't want to speculate when he's coming back.
Right.
There's other things going on with him.
Yep.
I'm hoping for the best situation possible for all, everybody involved.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm taking him off the board. So I'm not even
Right.
until
Right.
Dana White or his camp says that he's coming back and Dana White announces it. Like you can't really wait on him too much. But I think it all depends on that Oliveira Holloway fight.
Right.
But I would say if I'm the UFC bookers, I would book Saint Denis and Armand immediately.
Would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Then your main event of the evening was in the featherweight division for the UFC Featherweight Championship. Alexander Volkanovski defeated Diego Lopez via unanimous decision. 2 judges scoring the contest 49-46. The third judge scoring the contest 50-45.
Well,
This was an ass beating.
here's the thing. Volkanovski is the real deal. I mean, he's a perennial champion. And him at this weight class, he's almost untouchable.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, so Lopez, I know they're very high on. And, like I say, he's a hell of a fighter, but he's just not on that level.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski he's just more well-versed as well as it sounds. But I'm not saying Lopez is a bad fighter by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But it's just a matter of Volk is on that level. Like we kind of say, it was like with Brian Ortega.
Right.
Like you're always at that level, you're on the cusp, but you just can't get past that one person in the division.
I'm looking at Volkanovski's record. 32 matches, 28 wins, 4 losses. Of those 4 losses, 2 of them are to 2 individuals. One is Islam Makhachev, who he lost to twice. Then the other one is Ilia Topuria. The 4th loss was super early in his career. It was like this 4th fight in his career. Australian FC. But the 3 in the UFC, I'm looking at UFC.com/rankings. Both of those guys are in the top 2. The men's pound for pound ranking, Makhachev, number 1, Topuria, number 2. So, hey, losing to the number 1 and number 2 ranked pound for pound fighters, that's not a bad thing.
Definitely not a bad thing, but for where Volk goes next, I don't know. That division is not exactly screaming headlines right now.
No, featherweight division, Volkanovski is, of course, the champion. Number 1 ranked fighter, Movsar Evloev. Diego Lopez is still number 2. Leron Murphy is up to number 3. Yair Rodriguez fell to number 4. Aljamain Sterling is number 5. Gene Silva is number 6. Arnold Allen is number 7. Youssef Zalal is number 8. Steve Garcia is number 9. And Brian Ortega is number 10.
Yeah.
Dan Ige still in that division, folks. He's 14.
So looking at that, I mean, I think it's been rumored, but I don't believe it's been officially announced that you have Olav and Murphy going to fight.
Ooh.
So 1 and 3.
Okay.
So if that fight does happen, like I said, it's been rumored, but I don't think it's been officially announced.
Right.
If that fight goes down, then Volk fights the winner.
Makes sense to me.
That makes the most sense.
Makes sense to me.
Because otherwise, like, I don't know what you do. Like,
Royal Rumble. Everybody fight everybody at once.
well, you're going to need somebody to step up. And
True.
you're going to need somebody either to cut from 155 down to 145,
Yeah.
which could happen.
Sure.
I don't want to speculate who, but I mean, if
It almost have to be somebody who walks around at that weight and then bulks up to lightweight.
well, it
I don't know if somebody in lightweight would want to try and cut down that far unless they've done it before.
well, that's the thing. I mean, we've seen it in the past.
Right.
It's not a healthy cut.
God, no.
So I mean, I'm not recommending it.
No.
But depending on what you walk around at and such, is it possible?
Sure.
Yeah, anything's
In the
possible.
word of Kevin Garnett.
So I think that's the only thing you do if you really want to get Volk back in the cage
Sure.
quickly.
Sure.
Otherwise, you got to kind of wait to see where the waters settle.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then for Lopez, I believe his foot is injured, so I think he'll be out he'll be out an extended period of time.
Yeah.
But then you got to start taking a look at like who else is in that 4 to 6 range who hasn't fought and kind of work from there. I don't have a clear cut answer for him, but I think he's kind of at a weird stage right now where what's next?
Yeah.
Because like this was a rematch. So was it, like if you can't cash it in, what's the point? And that's the situation you have. So it's tough. Like you're going to have to make a tough decision about moving up.
That's why I'm glad I'm not Dana.
Yeah, so Dana's going to have his hands full doing Dana things. So, but that's pretty much the big takeaways there.
Yeah, should be. It was a good card though.
Solid card. I mean, since they've been on Paramount Plus, they've really been trying to amp up.
Paramount Plus holding up better than ESPN Plus did,
in our opinions. Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot of things looking upward for the UFC as the year is going on, and then we kind of wait to see how the rest of the card shapes out for the other divisions.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, hit us up on the hashtag ODPH Pod. UFC 325 went down this weekend. What is your takeaways from who won and who lost? Where do you think everybody's going after this? Let us know. We're going to get one more breakout. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
Got a couple things to talk about, first of which is the local minute. And looking at the standings for the Federal Prospects Hockey League and the Empire Division, Binghamton Black Bears still in first place.
Let's ride.
Port Huron Prowlers are in second place with 63 points. The Topeka Scarecrows are in third with 53 points. Blue Ridge Bobcats right behind them with 51 points. Danbury Hat Tricks in fifth place with 42 points. Watertown Wolves coming up second to last with 36 points. And then the Indiana Sentinels coming in last with 27 points. Looking at the schedule from this past week, it was a rough weekend for the Binghamton Black Bears. The local media article I saw was correct. Was their first back-to-back loss in a couple of years because the Black Bears lost the game on Friday to the Twin City Thunderbirds 5-4 in overtime. Then they lost again on Saturday by the final score of 7-5. Hopefully they can bounce back this weekend because they have two home games going on this weekend. First of which is Friday, February 6th, 7 o'clock Eastern against the Indiana Sentinels. That one is going to be Stop DWI night presented by Stop DWI New York. So obviously a very important cause going on with that. And then Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern is also a home game against the Indiana Sentinels. That one is First Responders night. So that one also a great cause going on for that. So for more tickets, information, all that good stuff, BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Excuse me. Then we got to talk a little bit of NBA news.
Yes.
Because holy cow, they decided to take like the NFL route or the MLB route and go absolutely bonkers at their trade deadline because the trade deadline hasn't passed. The trade deadline is like 3 or 4 in the afternoon on February 5th. We're still not there yet as of recording. Couple of interesting trades have gone down though. First of which was, the Clippers traded James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland.
I do not like this move for Cleveland.
The Clippers received Darius Garland and a future second-round pick. The Cavaliers received James Harden. So, yeah, James Harden's in Cleveland.
I don't think this is enough to get them to the finals or past. I'm sorry, I don't. I think bringing in Harden at this age, it's a risky gamble. I mean, if he's on point the night,
if
then,
he's motivated,
that's the whole thing. If he's not motivated, it's you're in for a long night.
When he loses interest and he doesn't want to be there anymore, well, he's mailing it in.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, his prior track records. I mean, the
clip I saw about Kobe the other night about how the Rockets are currently constructed with James Harden. That won't ever win a championship. Boy, that's proven more and more true.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, he's a great shooter, but he has to be motivated. And I don't know if you can motivate him at this age because I think the best years have gone past.
Yes.
And I think that now to get rid of Garland there, unless it's a cap move, but I don't know. I don't think it helps any cap. Like I don't get it. So
no, I don't think it's a cap move because if memory serves, Harden requested the trade.
Well, I think the love affair with the Clippers has long faded. That I think that they've always been in the team that no matter what free agent splashes they do to accommodate Kawhi Leonard, it just hasn't panned out for whatever reason.
Maybe they just haven't aspired enough.
Well, you never know.
Maybe they need some aspiration.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, this
if you
stage-
don't, go listen to the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast.
Yep. Yeah,
all I'm gonna say.
Fair points.
A couple other ones of note. This one, boy, if it wasn't already clear Nico Harrison was never going to get a job in the
Oh
NBA
my
ever
God.
again, boy, this is really cementing it. The Dallas Mavericks traded Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards in an 8-player deal, which I guess was, according to Tim McMahon, was going to help maximize Dallas's flexibility or building around Cooper Flagg. So, according to Tim McMahon on ESPN.com, quote, the Mavs will send Davis and guards Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-rounders, sources said.
Well, I mean,
So at this point, you traded Luka Doncic at 25 years old to the LA Lakers, who
yeah.
clearly the star of the future for the LA Lakers, you know. And what have you got for it if you're Dallas? A couple of picks that you don't really know.
You got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if you felt the experiment is over with Anthony Davis because of his injuries, that's one thing. And if Washington is willing to make a deal knowing that risk,
Right.
and granted, they're going to get, I mean, they pair him up with Trey Young
Right.
that,
He was traded to the Wizards.
right. So Washington's hoping they can find some magic in the time machine.
Well, they're also hoping for a very weak East.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to happen. I mean, if they think they're going to make a run now, maybe,
Could be.
but everybody's going to come back healthy next year. So unless you're in
Your window is like 6 months.
unless you're in a win now situation, but I don't get the
Trey Young and all the other pieces like 10 years ago? Sure.
Well, yeah.
Now? Eh.
I mean, if they're healthy enough, sure, but as it stands, they are in 14th place in the Eastern Conference.
That's not ideal.
They're 13 and 36 as we record.
Play-in is 7 through 10, so they are a number of games out of even the play-ins.
Yeah, so if you think you're going to make a run,
Right.
listen, I just don't see it.
14 and 36. They are, what's their last 10? There it is. They're 3 and 7 in their last 10. They're on a 1-game losing streak.
Yeah. So, like I say,
Good Lord, they're getting outscored by 10 points a game.
yeah. So I just don't see how this pans out. So
Yeah, I mean, granted, they're close to the Brooklyn Nets in that, well, they have the same record. But then you're 7 games behind Milwaukee, who's 19 and 29, and then you're 9 games behind. You're 9 games behind Charlotte, who's just in 11th, who's 28 or 23 and 28. So you're gonna have to go on a run of like epic proportions to even get close.
yeah, I don't understand how this pans out for anybody. Like, other than a dump cap in Dallas, that's the only thing.
Hopefully, sell some seats.
But you also dismantle a team that you had some promise with.
Sure.
So I don't know. I just don't get it.
Sure. And then you also had the Utah Jazz acquired Lonzo Ball in a 3-team trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Atlanta Hawks. However, according to ESPN's Shams Charania, they are expected to waive Lonzo Ball and allow him to become a free agent. The article goes on to say, quote, the Jazz sent 2 second-round draft picks to the Cavaliers and also received cash considerations from the Hawks for center Jacques Landau, sources told Charania. And the article says, Ball became expendable in Cleveland after the Cavs landed guards James Harden and Dennis Schroeder in separate trades over the past week. Cleveland sheds significant salary and gains tax savings by parting with Ball, who will now be able to test free agency, close quote.
Well, I mean, it's the NBA. When they do moves like this, a lot of this is just cap dump.
Yeah.
So, like I say, Lonzo Ball has not been Lonzo Ball for many years. I mean, coming back from that foot injury, it is what it is. Like I say, I'm not wishing bad on him. It's just he has not been the same player.
Yeah.
So it's tough. But to see this, make a move, like you had to move somebody like they alluded to. When you get Harden, I don't know if it's exactly an upgrade though.
Yeah.
In years past, I would have said, yeah, blockbuster deal.
Sure.
But it's not blockbuster.
Yeah. And then the last NBA trade we got to talk about is there was a trade between the LA Clippers, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Toronto Raptors involving sending none other than Chris Paul to the Raptors and Ochai Agbagi and a 2032 Raptors second round pick and cash to the Nets, according to Shams Charania. But of course, the big news: Chris Paul's heading north.
Yeah,
He's up running through the six.
allegedly.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not holding a lot of breath on that one.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot of moves in the NBA.
Yes, and as we record, no Giannis move yet.
Still time.
I know there's a lot of hinting, I guess, on social media of something. As we record, we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I'm saying he stays through this season, and then the summer gets very interesting.
Probably. Then a little bit of baseball news, because this one just came across my radar, and I can't believe they're actually doing this, because this is fucking insanity. The Detroit Tigers and back-to-back AL Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal are heading to arbitration. Which, if you're not familiar, when two sides, the player and the baseball team, are negotiating what they want to bring them back for, and they don't agree in the arbitration hearings, it'll go to a judge. One side will preside their side, the other one will preside the team side, and then they try and meet somewhere in the middle. But when you have back-to-back AL Cy Young Awards, never mind the fact you won the pitching Triple Crown in 2024. He was the wins leader in 2024. He was the AL or ERA leader in 2024 and 2025. He led all of the major leagues in strikeouts in 2024. Logic would tell me back up the Brinks truck, because holy hell, he's worth it. But yeah, they're apart by a little bit. He's asking for $32 million, which, you know what? I'd say he's earned it, considering all the stats I just gave you. The Tigers are offering $19 million. I'm not saying the ownership in Detroit is dumb, but you know.
Well, I mean, they've never. I mean, other than the Cabrera deal, they've never really gone crazy with a contract. So it is what it. Listen, I don't think anybody wants to hear me rant about baseball and contracts.
True.
That's not a fun conversation.
True.
But we will end with a fun conversation, because as it is on the calendar, this coming Sunday, February 8th, 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Is the biggest game in North American sports. It is the National Football League championship game, otherwise known as the Super Bowl, taking place from Levi Stadium in San Francisco, California.
49ers fans must be so excited.
Yeah, I tell you what, Patriots are going to have a home game, depending on who shows up in the Bay for that one. But the unlikely story of Drake May leading the New England Patriots with first-year head coach Mike Vrabel into the Super Bowl has been astounding to see, and obviously putting on a hell of a win streak after starting the season 1-2 has been something. Meanwhile, their opponents flew under the radar, literally, with a quarterback that was cut loose from Minnesota, and everybody that has seen him leave is crying a river right now.
Saw him and a quarterback who saw ghosts.
Yes.
Allegedly.
But Sam Darnold has had one of the most remarkable comeback stories, I think, in all of pro sports.
Hollywood worthy.
Yes. So both teams finished 14-3. Your Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots will duke it out. One can take the championship home. So, Pad, I mean, in the interest of fairness, I think if you're a new listener to the show, Pad is a diehard Patriots fan.
That's very true.
So we know where he's siding.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
I will say this. The line opened as the Seahawks as a 3.5-point favorite. It is currently a -4.5 favorite for the Seattle Seahawks.
So money's coming in on Seattle. Okay, well, I mean, here's the unofficial betting tip. I will say this. If you can afford to lose the money and you opt to bet and you see a point spread you like, jump on it early.
All I'm going to say is this: tails never fails.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be crazy if you are doing so. If you're betting responsible.
Yeah.
And like we always
and if you're married and betting, make sure the wife or husband knows.
Yes. So that being said, obviously, let's break it down, Pad. Who is winning and why? I mean, you can talk about your Patriots.
I mean, here's the thing. I think the Patriots are going to win because, stop me if you've heard this before, young unproven head coach, young unproven quarterback, going up against a juggernaut defense in the NFC where nobody is picking them to win. and literally everyone is writing them off. Stop me if you've heard this before. Oh, wait, it's happened before. They've been here before. They're getting all the motivation in the world. They have not lost a single game. They've lost one game since September, and that was against Buffalo. Since then, they've won 16 out of their 17 games. Now, you might sit here and go, oh, it's an easy schedule. They got here easily. Sorry, if the team with the easiest schedule always performed this way, then they'd be in the Super Bowl every year. Why doesn't that happen every year? The defense is getting overlooked because they have absolutely shut down some dynamic offenses. They've also had to go against something no other quarterback, I think, since maybe Cam Newton in 2015, 2014, somewhere in there. And that was go against some top-ranked defenses in the NFL that they had to go through. Oh, by the way, they're going through Seattle's defense, which is up there as well. Never mind the fact they did something no other team in NFL history has ever done, and I don't care how many games there are on the schedule. They went undefeated on the road.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do these years. They ran through the entire NFC South and beat them all. Like, you don't often hear of that. You always hear about, like, the Bird Gauntlet in the NFL. They go through, what is it, the Cardinals, the Ravens, the Eagles, and then I feel like there's a fourth one I'm forgetting. But, the Falcons. You know, all the Bird Gauntlet or whatever. Nobody's ever beaten all four Bird teams in the NFL in the same year, whatever it is. Nobody had ever gone through their entire road trip and beaten all of them. The defense is stellar. It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, all of their guys on defense are going to be playing. Even Spillane. Spillane said he's going to be good to go for Sunday, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Milton Williams is going to be balling out on that defense. And listen, I really think when it comes down to it, that defense is getting overlooked because you've got one of the best defenders in the NFL, Christian Gonzalez, who's going to be matched up with JSN, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup to watch, even if you're not, gambling on the game. You got one of the top receivers, one of the top defenders. That's going to be absolutely tremendous to see. And then you've got that Patriots front line going up against the running back group in Kenneth Walker III. Will it be a close game? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to be a blowout? Absolutely not. I think certain individuals, Patrick Surtain, are out of your goddamn mind if you think this is going to be a blowout of any sort. And I really do think the Patriots can pull this off and win this game because they've been here before during the regular season with their backs against the wall and nobody believing in them, and they've proven them wrong every single time.
So this is a very unique matchup. I will say that. Because with Drake May and Mike Vrabel, they're not supposed to be here.
Nope.
And let me give a listener a disclaimer. Pad knows if I'm critiquing it, I'm not doing this to provoke him.
Right.
So if anything is like, you're just trying to get him riled up. No. They're not supposed to be here.
They're playing with house money.
Yeah.
This is why. If they lost in the Brady years, I was upset. I'm muting sports pages for 2 weeks. I don't want to talk about it. This one, if they lose, I'm not going to be upset about it because go back and listen to our AFC and NFC preview show back in August. I did not think they were going to be here at all. I didn't even have them making the playoffs. I said they'll float around and they'll mess around for a wild card, but ultimately I don't think they're going to be there.
Yeah. So the fact they're here, that's the big win. And I think that it scared the rest of the AFC because everybody knew when Mike Vrabel signed the Patriots were going to be back at some point. The fact they got here this fast is a scary statement. So they're coming in with a lot less pressure on their shoulders. Maybe the only one that I think on the Patriots roster that's feeling some pressure is Stephon Diggs.
Probably. No, I'll agree with that.
So I think that he's the one that is going to be the X factor to watch.
Sure.
Because either he's going to have a great game or he's going to have a terrible game and crumble under the pressure. So we have to kind of keep that in mind for a matchup.
Right.
On the flip side, you have Mike Macdonald, who has come over from the Ravens learning tree, defensive coordinator from 2022 to 2023. And he has changed the culture in Seattle into a very hard-nosed, defensive-led team. that this is reminding a lot of fans of the Richard Sherman era.
Sure.
And this is when the Legion of Boom was running roughshod in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about what he's done here and what Clint Kubiak, who is now going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after this game, has done fixing Sam Darnold and making him into, I don't want to use the word elite.
No.
But I think he's been a very good quarterback.
Yes.
Maybe a great quarterback.
Yes.
But I'm not going to say elite. He's not on that Mahomes,
No.
Allen,
No.
Jackson level. I'm sorry,
No.
he's just not there.
No.
But what he's done is he's allowed Darnold to play very freely.
Mm-hmm.
He's allowed him to utilize his weapons on offense. And they've been playing a little more loosely because of that defense. So the X factors of this game, like I alluded to, is Stephon Diggs. What's he going to do? The other X factors on offense is going to be Kenneth Walker III.
Right.
Because the problem that we saw in Seattle's run to this game, and especially against the Rams, JSN was the only person he was throwing to.
Pretty much.
So if Gonzalez shuts him down,
Which that's going to be the matchup.
that's going to be that's like I say that's your heavyweight bout right there.
Yep.
If you take JSN off the board, can Walker impose his will? Because he doesn't have Charbonnet to back him up. If Charbonnet was here, I'd say
Right.
chances are better than ever.
Right.
If Walker can impose his will, then Seattle's got a really good shot to win this. But it also depends on how May handles that defense. Because
Sure.
that defense is not going to allow that many breakaway points. Albeit, though, the Rams tore him up a bit, but what everybody has to remember, too, is that's the third time they faced him that year.
Right.
Division rivals, we've talked about this many times.
This is true.
Everybody knows everybody. So I expect those games to always be high scoring. You're not going to see a 6-3 game between rivals
Right.
that know each other well.
Right.
You might see that here because they don't know each other well.
No.
The defensive edge, I give more to Seattle. The offensive edge, I give more to New England because
Okay.
I think that Drake May can do more things than Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
But then it comes down to how much weight can Darnold put on his shoulders.
Right.
Because what do you think he's been hearing all week at Media Week? Oh, did you ever think you were going to be here? You know, you're the
Ghosts.
ex-quarterback that did this. Ghost. You know, you start going through all of that stuff.
Yeah.
How much can that handle? And then
Right.
you see Drake May, Drake's like, did you ever think you were going to be here this early?
Right.
It's a lot to deal with. So that said, I think the 3-point spread is probably the right one because
Sure.
I think this is going to come down to a late kick.
Could be.
I will say this. I do like Seattle a little better because I think depending on the players around Drake May, I think that defense is going to hold them just enough that they could get some extra chance to kick. This is not going to be a blowout. Like, I think for anybody that's saying the blowout is going to be
Patrick's
wrong.
retaining. It's going to be 35-7.
No.
Fuck off.
No, it ain't going to be.
Fuck off.
No way. No way. If I have to give you a point spread on this, I'll say it's 27-24.
That's probably about right.
I fully see that. But I think that Seattle is going to get lucky on a play, and it could be a fumble. It could be a better kick return than somebody doesn't think. Somebody's going to make a mental mistake late in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've seen Seattle do this, so trust me, this could all go the Patriots' way.
Oh, yeah.
Because, let's face it, you couldn't keep your cool against your rivals. You wound up having one of the worst taunting penalties that just gave a first down to somebody. Emotions are going to be running high. So unless that head coach can keep everybody in check, and plus how distracted is Kubiak about getting his new job,
Yep.
there's a lot of X factors to be had. But if you're asking me right now, I'm going to say it's Seattle by 3. It's going to be close, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm saying this, even if for whatever reason Seattle gets out to like a 13-point lead, it ain't safe. It's
No.
not safe.
No.
This is going to come down to somebody's going to make a crucial error late. 5 minutes, 7 minutes left in that fourth. Somebody's making a big mistake. I'm not saying Drake, but I'm saying it could be one of the skill players.
Sure.
Just somebody's going to do
Sure.
something. And then that's going to be the deciding factor.
Listen, the only thing I know is I do not own a Drake May jersey. Not because I hate the kid, not because, I got anything against him, but I asked my parents for a Mac Jones jersey when we drafted him, and, well, look how that went. So when they drafted Drake May, I went, you know what? Why don't I wait and see this time around?
Yeah.
Let me see how the kid pans out. Let me give it a couple seasons. If it ends up working out, then I'll get one.
Yeah.
I think after this season, win, lose, or draw, especially after whatever happens on Thursday at the NFL awards ceremony, I think I might have to get one.
Hey, I've been very public about this, and if I never own one, I never own one. I'm not buying one Bills Josh Allen jersey till he wins the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
I don't want to jinx it because every time I bought a quarterback jersey, they've gotten hurt. So listen, I don't blame you. I would say if Drake wins, you should buy one, and it's going to be a hell of a game to watch.
Yeah.
So once again, 6:30 is kickoff on NBC
And Peacock.
So get ready for the commercials. Get together, watch it with your friends and family. And it's going to be a hell of a way to say goodbye to the Super Bowl or the NFL season. And just remember on Monday, everybody, we're all undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So that said, for anything and everything that is the ODPH, you can find it at odphpodcast.com. That's it for this week. So for the one and only Padawan J.
Let's go Patriots.
I'm your host, Ken. Thank you as always for listening to the ODPH podcast. See you next time.
It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know. 'Cause anyone who's worth a damn be worth way more than a picture could ever show. You could find the right light, find the right angle, and never find your soul. And it can feel like a losing battle, and this plot is full of holes. This modern way of finding love just makes me feel so alone. And I can't be the only one sick of staring at my phone. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Don't know that I believe in the old time fable. Everyone has just one true love. All I know is you're across this table, and you're all I'm thinking of. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Ooh, talk to me. Talk to me. It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know. Whoa.